Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle Better with a Friend bundle of February 2025. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and have the opportunity to gain early access to videos by buying a coffee through Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. Your support means the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Risk of Rain Returns. Risk of Rain Returns brings the beloved action roguelike back to its 2D roots, refining the original's formula with fresh polish and quality of life improvements. You crash land on a hostile planet, fighting through waves of enemies while collecting absurdly powerful items. The game's signature time-based difficulty curve keeps every run tense. Do you explore for upgrades, or rush to the teleporter before enemies become overwhelming? The core gameplay remains as punishingly addictive as ever. Each run depends on randomized item drops and enemy placement, meaning luck plays a role. But mastering your character's abilities is key. Whether dodging on the commando's tactical dive or obliterating foes with a well-timed shotgun blast, skillful play turns chaos into precision. New features include sharper visuals, smoother performance, and an overhauled multiplayer mode that finally delivers a seamless co-op experience. The roster has grown to 15 characters, with new additions like the Pilot and Drifter offering fresh playstyles. The Providence Trials introduce inventive skill-based challenges, adding a fun twist outside of regular runs. However, despite these upgrades, Risk of Rain Returns does not push the genre forward like its predecessors. Games like Hades and Curse of the Dead Gods have evolved roguelike storytelling and combat, making this return feel more nostalgic than groundbreaking. Still, for longtime fans or newcomers craving classic roguelike action, this is a satisfying revisit, even if it does not redefine the genre. At number 2 we have Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince, a side-scrolling puzzle platformer that reunites Amadeus the Wizard, Zoya the Thief, and Pontius the Knight in a new adventure. This time, you track down Prince Silius, a troubled young man whose uncontrollable magical nightmares manifest as real threats. The story is more personal than past Trine games, shifting from grand wars to an intimate struggle with fear and power. Gameplay in Trine 4 finds the perfect balance between chaotic physics of Trine 1 and 2 and the structured puzzles of Trine 3. The side-scrolling levels are thoughtfully designed, requiring all 3 heroes' abilities in ways that feel natural and rewarding. Amadeus conjures objects to manipulate the environment, Zoya swings and ties ropes to solve puzzles, and Pontius smashes obstacles while using his shield to reflect light. This synergy makes puzzle solving more engaging than ever. Combat remains the series' weakest aspect, with repetitive enemy encounters that feel like filler. However, Trine 4 compensates with fantastic boss fights that break from puzzle-heavy gameplay, offering intense, skill-based encounters. The game also features hidden collectibles and optional challenges, adding depth for completionists. Visually, Trine 4 is stunning, with vibrant environments and a magical atmosphere. The refined mechanics, compelling puzzles, and strong character interactions make it the best entry in the series. If you love creative puzzle platformers with charming storytelling, this is the Trine game you've been waiting for. At number 3 we have Across the Obelisk, a deck-building RPG that blends strategy, fantasy, and cooperative gameplay in a unique card-driven experience. This game draws inspiration from Dungeons & Dragons and Slay the Spire, offering a rich mix of tactical battles and narrative-driven choices. You start with a party of 4 heroes, a mage, rogue, warrior, and cleric, venturing through branching storylines and diverse biomes. Whether you play solo or with up to 3 friends, each decision shapes the journey. The game's vibrant surrealist art style brings its fantasy world to life, with beautifully animated creatures and spell effects that make battles visually engaging. At its core, Across the Obelisk thrives on deep deck-building mechanics. Each hero has their own deck, and you can customize cards to fit your strategy. Battles require careful planning, as characters and enemies take turns playing abilities that synergize in complex ways. While this creates rewarding tactical depth, managing 4 decks at once can overwhelm new players. Additionally, early game customization options feel excessive, and status effects can slow combat by stacking too many modifiers at once. Despite these drawbacks, the game offers immense replayability through branching paths, unlockable characters, and countless deck variations. If you enjoy roguelike deck builders and turn-based RPGs, this is a rewarding challenge. While it does not quite match the genre's top-tier titles, Across the Obelisk delivers a compelling blend of strategy and adventure that is worth exploring. At number 4 we have
Tribes of Midgard, an actual role-playing survival game centered around Norse mythology and Ragnarok. You play as a hero sent from the heavens to defend the world tree Yggdrasil almost every night to prevent Ragnarok, the end of the world, while using daytime to gather resources to build up your defenses. During the daytime, you explore an open field filled with enemies and bandit camps, roam around and collect nodes with resources in them required to build your home-based defenses. While exploring the world, you'll be battling monsters. Combat is not complicated, but the simplicity feels welcome. Enemies range from run-of-the-mill goblins and wolves to bigger, more challenging enemies. Large camps will have mini-bosses who can crush you if you're not prepared. Every few days, a giant elemental creature called Jotun will spawn in and slowly make its way to the world tree to destroy it. These giants are a force to be reckoned with, as they can easily destroy everything you have built on your base if they manage to make it to your camp. If you manage to slay the giant beast, you'll be rewarded with a ton of souls, which can be used to level up your camp, to be able to buy higher tier gear, increase Yggdrasil's health bar, and build more defensive and resource structures. You can also lose souls when you die, so don't die! Some resources are hard to come by, so you have to also choose where you spend these resources wisely. Crafting a single weapon can also take multiple days of looting. If it all sounds a bit too stressful, because it is, you can bring 9 friends or strangers along on co-op multiplayer, so you can defend Yggdrasil together. With a group of players, you can delegate certain tasks and focus on efficiency. It does make enemies tougher, but it is infinitely more fun than playing alone. If you enjoy going through a task list with yourself or with friends, you'll most likely enjoy Tribes of Midgard.
At number 5 we have Cat Quest 2, a charming action RPG that blends fast-paced combat, light-hearted humor, and plenty of animal puns. This sequel builds on the original by introducing a second playable character, a dog, allowing for local co-op or AI-assisted gameplay. You explore the kingdoms of Feline Guard and the Lupus Empire, fighting to reclaim the thrones from evil rulers while embarking on side quests, dungeon crawls, and treasure hunts across 2 massive maps. Combat remains accessible yet engaging. You can attack, dodge, and cast spells with different weapon types like 2-handed swords for heavy damage or wands for ranged magic. If playing solo, the AI controls your companion, though it occasionally stumbles into danger. The game encourages experimentation, letting you mix and match abilities for strategic battles. While Cat Quest 2 does not drastically change its predecessor's formula, the new cooperative mechanics and expanded world keep things fresh. The vibrant art style and fluid animations make exploration a joy, and the game's humor, including its relentless wordplay, adds to its charm. Difficulty scaling is fair, as quests and dungeons display recommended levels, ensuring you never feel overwhelmed. The ability to revive your partner mid-battle removes frustration, making this an easygoing, fun adventure. Though AI issues and a lack of major gameplay innovations hold it back slightly, Cat Quest 2 remains a delightful experience. Whether solo or with a friend, you'll find yourself grinning through this perfectly crafted adventure. At number 6 we have For the King Deluxe Edition,
a challenging turn-based strategy game that follows a group of adventurers on their quest to murder various monsters and enemies that threaten the kingdom. The game features procedurally generated maps, quests, and events, ensuring that each playthrough is unique and challenging. The gameplay in For the King revolves around turn-based combat and exploration, with players navigating through the game's various regions, solving puzzles, and engaging in battles. The combat system is straightforward but challenging, requiring players to carefully plan their moves and attacks to overcome enemies. One of the most notable aspects of For the King is its co-op mode, allowing up to 3 players to play together locally or online. The game's combat and exploration systems work well in multiplayer, with players able to coordinate their attacks and strategies to overcome challenging opponents. The game's progression system is also well designed, with players able to unlock new weapons, abilities, and upgrades as they progress through the game. These upgrades are essential for taking on the game's more challenging enemies and bosses, providing a satisfying sense of progression. The game's story is relatively simple but engaging, with players tasked with uncovering the source of the kingdom's troubles and putting an end to it. The game's world is richly detailed, with each region having its unique look and feel, providing an immersive experience. While the game's difficulty can be unforgiving sometimes, it never feels unfair, and is probably your fault. Players are encouraged to experiment with different strategies and approaches to murder their opponents. Overall, For the King is a challenging and engaging turn-based strategy game that offers a lot of content for players to enjoy. With its co-op mode, progression system, and immersive worlds, it'll keep you coming back for more.
The Deluxe Edition includes the Lost Civilization Adventure Pack. This DLC expands For the King with a vibrant jungle biome, arena battles, and 2 new classes, the Gladiator and Astronomer. You'll encounter over 50 unique enemies and gather over 90 new items, adding variety to your campaigns. While the fresh content is exciting, balancing issues arise as challenging enemies infiltrate every mode, often disrupting the game's flow. Dual-wielding weapons and wands are fun additions, but constant debuffs, petrification, and high-damage foes can feel punishing. If you thrive on difficulty, you'll enjoy the new strategic depth. However, for casual players, it might be more frustration than fun. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle may not be the freshest collection of games, but for those who don't own them, it is an incredible deal. Titles like Across the Obelisk, Risk of Rain Returns, and Trine 4 stands out as highlights, with many praising their gameplay, especially in co-op. While some feel these games have been bundled before, others see it as a steal. Whether you're looking for solo adventures or fun with friends, this bundle offers solid value, making it well worth considering. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider unlocking early access to videos by buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.